I'm going to talk about OpenSearch and how we've developed it and the functionalities that we have for it in NextGEOSS. So as I said, I worked as a full stack engineer at Datopian, and I've been involved in NextGEOSS since the beginning. We're, as part of the leading team, we're responsible for developing the Data Hub together with the other partners in the project. And we're also responsible for building data mining and discovery techniques that will help the users to find the data that they're interested in an effective way. One of the tools that we've developed as part of NextGEOSS and for the Data Hub that we're working on is the OpenSearch API. And today I'm going to talk a bit about the OpenSearch page that is available on the portal. Then we'll take a look a bit at the description documents available for OpenSearch. And then I'll talk a bit about the two-step search available through OpenSearch, and we'll see some examples with it. And then, last but not least, we'll talk about the OpenSearch API and how is it integrated into the Data Hub. The Data Hub provides an OpenSearch page where you can get information about OpenSearch and the Data Hub. This page basically gives an overview of how the user can access the description documents, where are they located, what kind of information they provide. Also, they can see how they can access the search endpoints. And we also provide a small section about the search parameters that are available through OpenSearch. But this area is only listing the common parameters for each collection. I'll talk about this more when I get to the two-step search part. Important part of OpenSearch are the description documents, because they're kind of like the basis from where you start your search and you get to see what the OpenSearch API provides to you, which filters can you use. So basically we can say that we have two types of description documents. One of them is this one that we see at the moment, and that's a description document for all the collections. Here we can find information about all the parameters that are available and common for the collections, and a list of collections that we have available on the portal. And the second part is a description document that is specific for a particular collection. In this case, on the slide, you can see Sentinel-1 Level 1 GRD, and the description document provides information about the parameters that are specific for this collection. So basically, for each collection, we have we have some regular parameters such as time range search, date time, and then you have some more specific ones, like in this case for Sentinel, we are adding the orbit. We are adding the ability to search through the orbit direction, then the acquisition mode, and etc. The description, as I said, the description documents are really important. So you can continue on to the next step and use the OpenSearch API to find the data sets that you need. Now let's take a look at how we are searching with the API. And for this, yes, we need to know the description documents and what they provide. So in this case, on this slide, I'm showing information about how we can filter information for a specific collection. Then the result that we get will be will list all the available data sets that we have on the Data Hub, but that belong to Sentinel-1 Level 1 GRD collection. And this is the first part of the searching that you're doing. The next part, and maybe this is enough, but maybe you want to get more in depth and find something more specific. And then then we get to talk about the second part of the two-step search. As an example here, I've added a SWOT filter to the API. So SWOT equals S3 will give us, taking into consideration the collection, will only display the results for and give us the data sets that have this in common. We can even go deeper and filter by additional fields, so we can get even a lower number of data sets, so we can be more particular into what we want to know. But we also have, so except for the API, we've added an OpenSearch button on the Data Hub in order to provide another way for the users to be able to search through the Data Hub. And let's someone finds it difficult to do the API search, and this way can use the graphical interface of the Data Hub and filter through the data sets. The Dataset Search page on the portal provides a list of filters that are available for filtering the data. So there we have a list of all the collections that we have on the portal. We have a list of providers that we're harvesting, and depending on the type of the collection that we have selected, these filters change. So if we select Sentinel-1 collection, we get the rest of the filters will accommodate this selection. So we'll get the orbit type, the SWOT, and etc. So it's easier for the user to go down and find the data sets that they need without really having to worry about the OpenSearch description documents and knowing the names of the parameters. So in this case, I have selected Sentinel-1 GRD, and we see that on the portal we have 66,665 data sets. And by clicking on the OpenSearch button, we are redirected to the OpenSearch API page where we get the same results. The next thing as we can do on the UI is drill down more deeper, and I've applied here additional filters like the acquisition mode and the orbit direction. And with that, I only got 45 data sets. By clicking on the OpenSearch button, then I'm again redirected to the OpenSearch API where I get the exact same results. So this is an additional way for the users that don't want to play around with the API and the description documents. They can just go on the Data Hub and filter the data and find what they need. I can say with the OpenSearch that we are providing another tool for searching through the data with using the API, but as well using the UI and the Data Hub as an option to find the data that the user needs. As for the future, we are improving the functionality of OpenSearch, and we are adding new harvesters, which are harvesting new providers, and with that, we are adding new collections to the system, to the Data Hub, and we are extending the database, I can say. With this, we want to provide we want to provide a better way for the users to find the data that they want, and also we are adding additional parameters and to the OpenSearch API, so we can do some additional filtering. Thank you for the attention.